What if I told you that a simple quarter in your pocket could be worth a staggering $1.3 million? Yes, you heard that right. The 1999 Connecticut quarter dollar is making headlines, and if you have one, you might be sitting on a fortune. The Connecticut quarter was part of the 50-state quarters program, released in 1999 by the U.S. Mint. Featuring the legendary Charter Oak, this coin represents Connecticut's rich history and resilience. But what makes this particular 1999 quarter so special? Why is it worth over $1 million today? Not every 1999 Connecticut quarter is valuable. This jaw-dropping price tag applies to a rare era version, minted in Philadelphia, marked by a P. Here's what you need to look for. If your coin has visible doubling in the inscriptions or tree design, you're in luck. Coins struck off-center can fetch thousands. Some 1999 quarters were mistakenly struck on a different metal alloy, making them incredibly valuable. One of these rare Connecticut quarters was recently auctioned for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Collectors are willing to pay premium prices for rare finds. Even if your quarter isn't the million-dollar jackpot, other 1999 Connecticut quarters with errors have sold for $5,000 to $50,000. So, how can you check if your quarter is one of these rare gems? Here's a step-by-step guide. Flip your quarter and check under "In God We Trust." Use a magnifying glass to spot any doubling or oddities. A standard quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If yours is significantly different, it could be an experimental planchet error. Websites like PCGS, NGC, and Heritage Auctions can help you verify if your coin matches high-value specimens. Found something interesting? Now it's time to cash in. Here are the best ways to sell your rare Connecticut quarter. Always consult a professional to get an accurate appraisal. These platforms attract serious collectors. Meeting collectors in person can result in great offers. Take a moment to check your coins. You never know what treasures you might find. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin updates, and comment below if you think you have a valuable coin. We're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting, focusing on the 2019 America the Beautiful quarters. Could one of these be your hidden treasure? In 2019, the U.S. Mint released a series of quarters celebrating America's national parks and historic sites. These coins not only capture the essence of these landmarks but have also become highly sought after by collectors. Transition to a graphic displaying the 5 2019 quarter designs. Showcasing a mill girl working at a power loom, symbolizing the Industrial Revolution. Coin trackers depicting a young woman in traditional attire, honoring the sacrifices made during World War II. Illustrating American forces landing at Asen Bay during the Second World War. Featuring elements representing the Spanish colonial missions, including arches and a bell. Highlighting the untamed wilderness with a boat navigating the rushing river. Now, let's talk about mint marks. In 2019, for the first time, the U.S. Mint's West Point facility, W. Mint mark, produced quarters for circulation. Only about 10 million of these W-marked quarters were released, making them relatively rare. Depending on their condition, these coins can fetch anywhere from $5 to over $500. Ned Ludd Coins Plus One CoinValueChecker.com. Beyond mint marks, certain errors can significantly increase a coin's value. For instance, the Lowell quarter with an obverse struck-through error, resembling an angel's wing on the lady's face, has been known to sell for as much as $1,500. CoinValueChecker.com Plus One CoinValueChecker.com. Look for the W mark indicating the West Point Mint. Use a magnifying glass to spot anomalies like double strikes, die chips, or missing clad layers. CoinValueChecker.com CoinValueChecker.com. Ned Ludd coins in uncirculated or mint state condition are more valuable. CoinValueChecker.com. Coin trackers reach out to professional coin grading services or local coin dealers for accurate appraisals. Ready to dive deeper into coin collecting or thinking about selling? Here are some reputable resources to guide you for grading and price guides. Ned Ludd Coins CoinValueChecker.com Coin Trackers offers grading services and educational materials. Provides coin value estimates and details on various coin types. Remember, that quarter in your pocket might just be more than spare change. What if I told you a simple 2017 quarter, yes, one you might have right now, is worth up to $685,000? Sounds insane, right? But it's 100% true, and if you don't check your change right now, you could be throwing away a fortune. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you've been carrying around a quarter that could pay off your mortgage, fund your dream vacation, or even make you a millionaire. And here's the kicker, this isn't just a collector's fantasy. People have already cashed in big time on these rare quarters. Could you be next? Stick around, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to identify this rare coin, why it's worth so much, and how you can sell it for maximum profit. But before we dive in, tell me this, when was the last time you really checked your spare change? If your answer is never, you might want to rethink that. Because by the end of this video, you'll be rushing to dig through your old coin stash. Trust me, the mystery behind the 2017 P. Washington silver quarter. Alright, let's get into it. In 2017, the Philadelphia Mint produced a standard issue of George Washington quarters. Millions of them. But something unusual happened. A small batch of quarters was mistakenly struck using the wrong metal, pure silver. Now, these weren't supposed to exist. And yet, a handful escaped the mint's doors, making their way into circulation. Let's pause for a second. Have you ever thought about how many rare coins might be sitting in everyday circulation? Coins that collectors are willing to spend. Well, this 2017 P quarter is one of them. And if you find one, you just hit the jackpot. But wait, how do you know if you have the real deal? That's exactly what we're diving into next. Now, let's get practical. Grab any 2017 P quarter you have, because here's how to tell if you've got a fortune in your hands. Check the mint mark. It should have a small P right below George Washington's neck. This indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Look at the edge. If your quarter has a copper core, that brownish tint on the edge, it's regular. But if it's solid silver, congrats. You might be holding the rare version. Weigh it. A normal quarter weighs 5.67 grams, but the silver error version? It's slightly heavier, 6.25 grams. If your scale shows this, you might be sitting on a gold mine. Listen closely. Drop it on a hard surface. A silver quarter produces a distinct, high-pitched ring, unlike the dull clink of a regular one. Now, if your quarter passes these tests, do not spend it. Do not clean it. And definitely, do not sell it to just anyone, because coming up next, I'll show you how to turn this rare find into big money, the right way. Would you rather find a rare quarter worth $685K, or win the lottery? Thinking face, let me know in the comments. Alright, now that you've checked your quarters and, hopefully, found the silver treasure, let's talk money. Right now, the market value of this quarter is at an all-time high. One recently sold for $685,000 at auction. But why? Collectors and investors know how rare these error coins are, and they're willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of history. Get it professionally graded. The best services are PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. A certified grade will skyrocket your coin's value. Listed on the right platform. Avoid pawn shops or casual buyers, they will lowball you. Instead, go for reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or Great Collections. Market it wisely. If you've got a top-tier rare quarter, collectors might even bid against each other, driving up the price. And here's something crazy, one lucky seller got 6 figures for his 2017 P silver quarter, because he simply knew where to sell it. Now, imagine what you could do with $685,000. Well, if you think that's exciting, just wait until you hear about another rare coin that could be hiding in your pocket. Backhand index pointing right. 1. Ignore this information and keep spending your quarters like they're just loose. Change.org. Start checking your coins right now, because your next grocery store trip could be the moment you stumble upon life-changing money. and before you go, you won't believe the other rare coin that's selling for even more than this one. Watch the next video to find out. Imagine holding a small, everyday coin in your hand, a simple quarter you might use to pay for a coffee, only to discover it's worth a staggering $685,000. What if I told you that right now, hidden inside your change jar, purse, or old drawer, could be a coin so rare that collectors are fighting to own it? Yeah, you might want to check your coins before spending them on a vending machine soda. But not just any quarter. This is the 2007 P Mint Mark George Washington Silver Quarter Dollar, and a rare variant of this coin has turned ordinary people into overnight millionaires. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify if you own one of these life-changing coins. Before we reveal how to spot the rare coin, let's dive into why this quarter is so valuable. It all started in 2007 when the U.S. Mint released the first quarter in the Presidential Dollar Series, honoring George Washington. But here's the twist: some coins were struck with a critical minting error, one that went completely unnoticed by most people, until now. Unlike the regular versions, this quarter was mistakenly struck on a silver planchet instead of a standard clad composition. That means instead of being worth 25 cents, collectors are willing to pay over $685,000 for one in pristine condition. And guess what? Most people who own this coin have no idea. Alright, let's get to the part you've been waiting for: how to check if you own this six-figure quarter. Here's what to do: check the mint mark. First, look for the 2007 P Mint mark. If your coin was minted in Philadelphia, you're on the right track. The silver test: regular quarters from 2007 do not contain silver, but this rare version does. A quick way to check: take a magnet. If the coin doesn't stick, that's a good sign, it might be silver. Tap your quarter on a hard surface. A silver coin will produce a high-pitched ring instead of a dull clunk like regular quarters. A standard 2007 quarter weighs 5.67 grams, but the rare silver version weighs 6.25 grams. If yours matches, congratulations, you're sitting on a gold mine. But wait, where should you sell it? If you think you have this coin, do not rush to sell it at just any pawn shop. Some dealers might offer you way less than it's worth. Instead, get it professionally graded by NGC or PCGS. This could add thousands to its value. Some auctions have fetched over $685,000 for this coin, so don't settle for less. Reach out to top coin collectors or major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. Here's the truth: every day, people unknowingly spend or sell rare coins for pennies, while others are quietly cashing in for life-changing amounts. Don't let that be you. You could be one coin away from a completely different life. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your quarters right now, because the next big discovery could be in your hands. And if you found this valuable, don't forget to subscribe for more rare coin discoveries that could make you rich. Drop a comment below if you're checking your change jar tonight. What if I told you that a tiny piece of metal sitting in your drawer right now could be worth a life-changing $685,000? Yes, you heard that right. One simple quarter, 25 cents, could hold the key to your dream home, that luxury car, or a retirement where you never worry about money again. But here's the problem: most people don't even realize they have one of these quarters. And by the time they do, it's too late, sold off for a few bucks, while collectors make a fortune. So, before you make that mistake, stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to identify this rare 1995 P Washington quarter and why it's worth an astonishing $685,000 today. In 1995, something extraordinary happened at the Philadelphia Mint. A small batch of Washington quarters, struck in pure silver instead of the standard copper-nickel blend, accidentally entered circulation. Most people never noticed, and these rare quarters went unnoticed for decades, passing from pocket to pocket, vending machine to vending machine, until collectors started finding them. And just think about it: what if, instead of spending it on a bag of chips 20 years ago, you had kept one? You'd be holding a small fortune instead of an empty Doritos bag. Now, here's the big question: how do you know if you have one? Let me show you exactly what to look for. Alright, here's what you need to do: grab any 1995 p quarter you can find and check for these key features. If it's made of 90% silver, it's noticeably different from regular quarters. A standard quarter weighs 5.67 grams, but a rare silver one is 6.25 grams, located right below George Washington's portrait. Some rare versions have doubled lettering or off-center strikes. If your quarter matches these criteria, congratulations. You could be sitting on a life-changing fortune. Before you rush to sell it, there's a crucial step you must take to get the highest price, because if you make a mistake, you could lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. In my next video, I'll show you exactly where to sell your coin, how to get it graded, and how to avoid scams. Because let's face it, opportunities like this don't come every day. But today? You just might have found your golden ticket. We're diving into one of the rarest and most valuable quarter-dollar coins in U.S. history, the 1987 p George Washington silver quarter, and here's the kicker: you might have one sitting in your drawer right now, but before you rush to check your old coin stash, you need to know what makes this quarter so insanely valuable. Because if you cash it in at face value, you could be throwing away a fortune. Stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal exactly what to look for, and how you can sell it for top dollar, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. Let's rewind the clock to 1987. Reagan was president. Gas was 89 cents a gallon. And Nintendo was taking over America, but what almost no one realized at the time, was that a minting error had just created one of the most valuable quarters in U.S. history. You see, in 1987, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of George Washington quarters. But here's where it gets interesting: a handful of them were struck on silver planchets, by accident, because by 1987, the U.S. had stopped making quarters out of 90% silver. Since 1965, quarters were made of copper-nickel. Most experts believe a few leftover silver blanks from the 1960s somehow made their way into the minting process, completely undetected, and just like that, a multi-million-dollar mistake was born. And to think, the government usually charges you for making mistakes, but here's where things get really crazy: this rare 1987 p silver quarter isn't just a collector's dream, it's a game-changer. In 2024, one of these bad boys sold at auction for an astonishing $685,000. Experts believe more are still out there, just waiting to be found. But here's the urgent part: the value of rare coins is skyrocketing. Collectors and investors are battling to own these historic pieces, and prices could go even higher. Imagine finding one, cashing in, and retiring early, all because of a quarter. That brings us to the 3 key signs that your 1987 p quarter is worth a life-changing fortune. Alright. Grab your quarters and check for these signs. First, the mint mark. Look for a small P just below Washington's ponytail. That means it was minted in Philadelphia. Second, the silver test. Regular 1987 quarters are made of copper and nickel. But the rare silver ones have a distinct shine and weigh more, about 6.25 grams instead of 5.67 grams. Or, if you don't have a scale, just drop it on a hard surface. If it rings like a silver bell, you might be sitting on a gold mine. A normal quarter has an orange copper ring along the edge. But a silver quarter has a solid, bright edge, no copper in sight. If you do not spend it. And don't sell it to just anyone. Most people who sell rare coins get ripped off. The wrong one? You might only get a few $100. That's why I've put together a free guide on the best places to sell rare coins for maximum value. Just check the link in the description below, and remember, history is hiding in plain sight. That loose change in your pocket? It could be your ticket to financial freedom. So, don't wait. Check your quarters. Because the next rare coin jackpot could be in your hands right now. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more hidden wealth secrets, and tell me in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Imagine walking into a gas station, handing over a quarter for a pack of gum, and later realizing that tiny coin was worth nearly $700,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this isn't just some coin collector's fantasy, this has actually happened. Right now, there are people unknowingly holding this exact coin, a 1981 P. George Washington silver $quarter, and some of them are sitting on a life-changing fortune without even realizing it. This isn't just rare, it's ultra-rare. With a market value currently standing at $685,000, this is one of the most sought-after quarters in what makes it so special. And more importantly, could you have one? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to turn a small piece of metal into a ticket to wealth. Now, before you go flipping over every couch cushion like a detective on a mission, let's break this down step by step. And trust me, by the time we're done, you're going to be rating every jar of spare change in sight. To understand why this quarter is so valuable, we have to take a trip back to 1981, an era of classic muscle cars, booming Wall Street trades, and the last breaths of the disco craze. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced millions of Washington quarters that year. But hidden among them were a handful of error coins and ultra-rare mint variants that today are worth more than some luxury homes. While most Philadelphia minted coins have no mint mark, a small batch of 1981 P quarters was struck on 90% silver planchets instead of the usual copper nickel. These rare errors are the golden ticket for collectors. Some of these quarters have a double strike on George Washington's face and inscriptions, an incredibly rare error that sends prices sky high at auctions. If your 1981 P quarter is in near perfect condition, graded MS 68 or higher, congratulations, you may have just hit the jackpot. Asterisk. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Some collectors and auction houses have placed bounty-like rewards on these quarters, desperate to get their hands on them. But how do you tell if your quarter is worth a few cents, or nearly $750,000? Let's break it down. At this point, you might be wondering, okay, but what if I actually have one of these quarters? Well, here's what to do next, and listen carefully, because this part could make or break your fortune. Grab your quarter and check the edges. If there's no copper strip and it has a clean silver finish, it's time to get serious. Use a magnifying glass to inspect Washington's face and lettering. Look for doubling effects or any odd minting errors. If you suspect you have a rare 1981 P quarter, do not sell it to a local pawn shop. Instead, get it. This can skyrocket its value. And now, the moment of truth. If your quarter passes these tests and gets a top-tier grade, you could be looking at a six-figure payday. In fact, the last known auction for one of these rare coins fetched a staggering $685,000. These coins are getting scooped up fast by collectors and investors. If you don't check your change now, you might miss out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Closing, the call to action. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your spare change, your old piggy banks, even that dusty coin jar in the kitchen. Because one simple coin could be the key to a life of luxury. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like and subscribe button, because I'll be uncovering even more hidden treasures waiting to be found. Now, go find that fortune. Imagine this, you're sifting through your old change, maybe a jar of forgotten quarters, and suddenly, bam! You realize you're holding a tiny piece of metal worth nearly $700,000. But this isn't just some urban myth. The 1979 D. George Washington quarter, a simple 25-cent coin, has made headlines, fetching six-figure sums at auctions. But here's the kicker, most people don't even realize they have one. It's too late. So, how do you know if you have this fortune in your pocket? And more importantly, how can you sell it for top dollar? Stay with me, because today, I'm revealing the exact details collectors are searching for. But here's the catch, not all 1979 D quarters are valuable. You have to know what to look for. Miss just one tiny detail, and you might as well have a regular 25-cent coin. And let's be honest, nobody wants to be the person who spent $685,000 on a soda at a vending machine by mistake. So, let's break it down, why this coin is worth a fortune, what makes this quarter so special, rarity and minting errors. In 1979, the U.S. Mint struck millions of quarters. But a handful, just a microscopic fraction, came out with a critical mistake. A minting error so rare that coin collectors will fight tooth and nail to get their hands on it. Located below Washington's ponytail, but on rare versions, it may be misaligned or doubled. While most 1979 quarters were made from copper nickel, some ultra-rare specimens were mistakenly struck on a 90% silver planchet. This error creates a shadow effect on letters and numbers. If Liberty or the year 1979 looks slightly doubled, you might have a jackpot in your hands, but that's not all. The real goldmine? Proof-like finishes and special strikes. Some of these quarters were mistakenly struck using a proof die, giving them an unusually sharp design and mirror-like finish. These are the ones that can skyrocket into 6 or even 7 figures. So, before you toss that old jar of change, just remember, you could be holding a small, metallic lottery ticket. And you don't even know it, but now that you know what to look for, how do you turn that knowledge into cold, hard cash, build up to climax? Well, that's where things get really interesting. How to cash in and secure your wealth. So, you found a 1979 D quarter with a rare mint error. Now what? Authenticate your coin before collectors will even consider paying big bucks. Your coin needs to be professionally graded. Services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, will certify its authenticity. And let's be real, would you buy a Ferrari without checking if it's real? Exactly. Forget about it. The real money is in exclusive coin auctions and private collectors. Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, and Great Collections have all sold high-value 1979 D quarters, but here's the problem: the market is shifting. Right now, coin values are at an all-time high. But like any market, this won't last forever. Every year, more of these coins are discovered, and as supply increases, prices can drop. If you wait too long, your six-figure payday could vanish. Check your quarters now, because one small discovery could change your life forever. Now, I have one question for you. If not, this is your sign. Like this video if you learned something new, and share it with someone who might be sitting on a hidden fortune. And if you want more insider tips on rare coins worth millions, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your next find might just make you a millionaire. What if I told you that a single 1967 no-mint mark George Washington quarter, a coin you may have sitting in an old jar, forgotten in a drawer, could be worth a life-changing $685,000? Collectors and investors are paying top dollar for rare quarters like this one. The question is, do you have one? Stay with me, because in the next 10 minutes, I'll show you why this specific quarter is so rare, how to identify it, and how you can turn your pocket change into a fortune. And trust me, you don't want to miss this, because by the end of this video, you might be rushing to check your old coin collection before someone else cashes in on this opportunity. Backhand index pointing right, so grab a seat, because this could be the most valuable 10 minutes of your life. Alright, let's start with the big question. Why is the 1967 no-mint mark George Washington quarter so valuable? You see, most quarters from 1967 aren't worth more than 25 cents, but a small number of them were struck with a unique error or special characteristics that make them worth hundreds of thousands of dollars today. Now, let me ask you, when was the last time you really looked at a quarter in your pocket? Most people don't. And that's how these treasures go unnoticed for decades. Unlike most quarters from the 1960s, some of these coins were struck with an experimental silver planchet. Yes, real silver. The coin has no mint mark, meaning it wasn't made in the usual locations. It has a super sharp strike in high-grade condition, making it exceptionally rare among collectors. Now, imagine this. Someone once sold a rare 1967 quarter for just a few dollars, not knowing it was worth nearly $700,000. Could you be holding onto a hidden fortune without even knowing it? But wait, before you go digging through your couch cushions, let me show you how to identify one of these rare quarters. Grab a regular 1967 quarter and compare it to another quarter from the 1970s or later. Does yours have a slightly different color or luster? If it's shinier and heavier, you might be looking at a rare silver planchet strike. Hold a magnet over your quarter. Real silver is not magnetic, so if your coin sticks, sorry, it's just a regular quarter. The mint mark mystery: if you don't see a tiny letter, D or S, congratulations. You might be onto something valuable. the condition and error check, sharp details on Washington's hair and face, clean, crisp lettering, any unusual marks or double-struck areas. Because here's the deal, the rarest coins aren't just about age. They're about condition. You don't need to be a professional to check these. Alright, if you found a 1967 no mint mark quarter that matches these criteria, here's how to turn it into serious cash. Send your coin to NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, or PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. A certified high-grade coin can multiply its value by hundreds of thousands. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and major coin collectors will pay top dollar for rare finds. Timing is everything. The last high-grade 1967 no mint mark quarter sold for $685,000, and prices are still rising. Imagine what that kind of money could do for you. A new house? A dream vacation? A complete financial reset, because if you've got one of these rare 1967 quarters, your life could change overnight. Don't wait. Go check your coin collection right now, and if you find something valuable, drop a comment below, and before you go, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because I'll be revealing more hidden coin treasures you need to know about.